So in terms of last night's game plan, you guys are well aware. I made it very, very clear. If the SPY gaps up and we are opening up higher above 605, I'm planning to buy SPY call options when it dips back down using the break and retest strategy. Once the SPY retests those previous resistance levels in the pre-market, I had also stated towards 604.70, I was planning to buy SPY call options for the gap and go for the strong bullish close. Once the SPY retested the lows on the day, I had noticed there was a gap on the 1-minute chart that had closed, and there was bullish confirmations for a reversal on the 30-minute chart. And in terms of last night's game plan, the plan was to play the gap and go if we are gapping up for the strong bullish close. So I ended up buying these SPY call options, 606 out of money strike at the exact lows, sold deep in the money at 87 cents a contract for nearly a 200% profit return. Those SPY call options ended up going up, if you held them till close, nearly 1,000%. That was my one personal trade that I ended up making on the day, going 1-for-1. In terms of GROAR, he ended up going 4-for-4. I'm going to be breaking down the trades that we ended up making on the day. He ended up alerting Amazon calls at the exact lows at market open, and they went up multiple 100% profit return. And then we had many, many wins on SPY calls. So with that, and also SPX calls. With that being said, we're going to get into the game plan first. So in terms of the game plan, this is going to be short, simple, and sweet. Like I said, there's really not going to be much to say when the market is moving extremely slow like this and we are just pushing for new all-time highs. Obviously, in terms of the overall strategies that we've been using within the bullish market has been the overall break and retest, along with the 30-minute candlestick confirmations, along with the gap close reversal strategies, and just looking to buy at oversold key dip levels when the SPY is breaking above resistance, wait for the drop back down, buy the retest with the bullish 30-minute candlestick confirmations. So the game plan is going to be very simple. This is going to be the call zone. The call zone is going to be the following. We have previous resistance right here at 606.50. We have not retested this previous resistance level. So I want you to think of this as the potential low of day, as the potential bottom. That's the make or break level. So basically, if the SPY is holding at this level, it's going to have a very bullish move. If we crack and go under, then the next level for calls is going to be the previous day lows towards 605, and then the gap reversal at 603.91. That would be the next 1-point zone if we are reacting bearish at 606.50. If you're seeing bullish confirmations on the 30-minute chart, you're going to want to be buying call options in between the following zone. It's going to be a 1-point zone. 607.66 is the previous closing price. I want you to think of that as make or break. So if we're gapping up, it's going to try to bottom in between this zone. If we're gapping up and you're seeing bullish confirmations towards the 607 overall range, you're going to want to be buying calls at the higher level. If we're just opening up flat or gapping down or just reacting bearish in general at 607.60, the next level of calls you're going to want to focus on is the breakout and retest level that has not been tested at 606.50. That's the overall game plan. That's the overall zone. Like I said, for the higher level, it's going to be more focused if we're gapping up. But if the bullish confirmations are there in the pre-market and the floor is forming at the higher level, I'd be more than willing to take calls there if we're opening up flat. And then the level below that is going to be 606.50. That is the zone. Now, based off of what I'm seeing on the daily chart, the SPY is going to attempt to have another bullish day, in the potential bottom, like I said, is going to be towards 606.50 to the previous closing price, 607.60, somewhere in between that zone. The pre-market chart and the overall, normal trading hours towards market open are going to determine where it's going to be, but that's the range I have for you. And then in terms of what's going to potentially happen is, as long as we're holding that zone, the SPY is going to be breaking out to 610 to 611 new all-time highs at the bare minimum. Another side note that I wanted to give you in advance is, if we're having a strong gap up above 607.66, say we're gapping up at like 609 or 610, we're having a strong gap up, it's just going to try to have a gap and go at the gate. So look for higher resistance levels in the pre-market. You can also look for 607.90 previous high day retest to buy at higher levels, only if we're having a strong gap up, right? In terms of bears, for the bears to take control, they need to turn 606.50 into resistance. Then from there, it's going to try to drop to 605, 604, which is the next oversold zone to be buying call options for a short-term reversal. Now, in terms of the potential close, Based off of what I'm seeing on the daily chart, if we are holding the higher zone, it could have a pullback later on throughout the day. So as we're spiking, let's say we're going to like 610, 611, later on throughout the day, it could have a pullback and it could drop right back down towards the previous closing price, or it can potentially close strong at the highs. So in terms of the closing thesis, whether it's going to be a bullish or bearish close, I'm seeing, based off the daily chart, multiple patterns where anything can occur. So it's just going to be more of using the overall strategies, right? So in terms of like breakout and retest, one way to determine if we're going to have a strong bullish close, you look at the resistance levels. If the SPY breaks above, 608 and it goes to 609, 610, then we drop back down to the previous resistance. It forms a floor as long as it's forming 30-minute floors, right? So when it breaks above resistance on the 30-minute chart, so this is a break above resistance, 606.50, it's going to keep on going up. Once it drops back down, as long as it's turning previous resistance levels into support, once it retests, then the trend remains bullish. But once you see that a previous resistance level is no longer reacting as a support when it retests, that means the trend is shifting bearish, which will give you an identification and a confirmation that the trend's going to flip bearish and it's going to try to close weak. So the break and retest is going to help you confirm if it's going to try to close strong at the highs. And then, like I said, once it drops back down to retest the previous resistance for the first time, if it starts cracking through and forming a ceiling and forming a roof rather than support, the trend is shifting bearish and it's going to try to close weak, right? So in terms of the daily chart patterns, man, I'm seeing where it can either close strong or close weak. So in terms of the main confirmation, it's going to be using price action in the 30-minute chart. Those are the levels that I want you to be aware of. Like I said, man, heading into tomorrow, the main focus is going to be buying call options towards those overall levels that I've given you, along with the information that I provided to you. And like I told you, later on throughout the day, it could potentially drop right back down to the previous closing price, or it can close strong at the highs. Use the breakout and retest to confirm if it's going to react bullish for the close or bearish for the week close, right? So that's what I can provide to you in terms of a day in advance. Now, in terms of the trades, let's get into it, man. So I'm gonna walk you through this. This was the one and only personal trade that I ended up making on the day. So at 1:33 p.m., when we were seeing a massive move to the downside, I ended up buying SPY call options. In terms of my style of trading, you're gonna see the vast majority of my trades are reversals. I like to play reversals. I prefer to not, especially when I'm going long, to buy breakouts. I'm not a big breakout breakout trader. I'm more of a reversal trader, especially when I'm going long. So in terms of when my strategy works, the beauty of reversals is it's going to be literally timed perfectly, and it's going to be towards the exact lows, and it's going to get you in the best entry. If you're getting in on a reversal and you're setting the trend and you're buying towards the exact lows, it is extremely easy to hold that overall trade because your entry is just so fucking good and the gains are so fucking explosive. So in terms of my style of trading, I tend to avoid buying breakouts, right? So if the SPY is breaking above a resistance level, I'm typically not buying there. I wait for it to drop back down to retest the previous resistance level where it had that breakout. Then I'm looking to buy the dip if I get the confirmations. I'm not just going to blindly buy into the dip, right? But on bullish trend days, that's what I prefer to do, along with just buying at oversold levels in general, right? So when shit hit the fan and everything, everyone was just freaking out in a sense, I was buying SPY calls at the exact lows. This was the one and only trade that I made on the day. Let's buy SPY 606 calls at 34 cents at 1:33 p.m. So in terms of these calls, 1:33 p.m., I literally bought these at the exact low of day, and they went to nearly 300 cents a contract. So from the lows, these calls literally went up almost 1,000%. I ended up selling for a 200% profit return. So in terms of 1:33 p.m., as you can see, I got in at the exact low of day candle on these overall contracts, right? So this is where I got in at 1:33 p.m. at the exact lows, and I was adding to my winners to increase the overall wins, right? When we win and when we're up a little bit, we tend to win fucking big. So in terms of this overall trade, as you're going to see, I made this very, very clear at the exact fucking low of the day that this was free money. And like I said, this was literally the only trade in terms of my personal trades that I ended up making, man. So this was phenomenal, and I'm going to be breaking it down for you. In terms of where I ended up exiting, I'm going to walk you through that here. So I ended up adding at 39 cents a contract, adding into the winner, averaging my cost up, right? And we absolutely crushed it, man. 606 calls went in the money at 1:54 p.m., right when this 30-minute candlestick was about to close. I said the next 30 minutes will be a bullish breakout for a new high of day. I'm planning to sell at 2:30 p.m. Stuck to the overall plan. I sold half at 74 cents for over 100% win. And then I sold the rest for nearly a 200% profit return in the 87-cent range. And then that's where I literally called it. So in terms of me just calling it on the day in general, one of the philosophies that I went with was just realizing that there was no way that there was going to be a better trade that I could have potentially made on the overall day. If I'm buying calls at the exact lows and selling for a 200% return, if I choose to trade in that sense, that means I'm going to be entering a trade that is not going to be good as the previous one. So in this situation, it just didn't seem right for me to make another trade. I'm just trying to trade the overall best setups at the best prices in that sense. So it just made sense for me to walk away because I realized there's nothing I could have done on the day to top that exact trade. And that was the first trade that I made on the day. So in terms of the reasoning behind this, if you watched last night's video, I made it very, very clear if the SPY opens up above 605 to 605.50, right? So we ended up opening up towards the higher level at 605.50. I made it very clear that I was bullish. It was going to have a gap and go. And in terms of the strategies that I use on a gap and go and on a bullish trend day, one of the strategies that I use is I wait for the SPY to go back to oversold levels, right? If SPY is breaking above resistance, if we're gapping up above resistance, I wait for it to retest those previous resistance levels, the overall breakdown retest, the gap and go retest for a strong bullish potential close, right? So in terms of the levels that I stated in last night's video for calls, 603.91, that was one of the levels. The higher level was this 604.90 that I drew out towards 605. So those were the overall levels that I was interested in buying SPY call options at. If you looked in the pre-market, you could see right here, you had resistance at 605.50, right? But anyways, man, this is what I was looking at. So we had resistance right here. As you can see, we had resistance towards this 606. The SPY started to break above resistance and then it dropped back down, turning that previous resistance into support. In terms of where I took that trade, I took that trade at the opening of this 30-minute candlestick. So in terms of reasonings behind that, this is previous resistance. The SPY had a break above previous resistance. It dropped back down. It formed a floor for over 2 hours straight above that previous resistance, which is bullish. Also, the SPY was extremely oversold. And in terms of a bullish reversal pattern, I had recognized this pattern in the past where you have this green candlestick facing to the upside, and then you have this red rectangle candlestick. Next 30 minutes tends to be bullish, so I'm going to be scaling into the dips, right? In terms of the 1 minute chart, I saw a confirmation on the 1 minute chart where this was likely going to reverse, and this recently happened on the SPY as well. There was a gap that was waiting to fill right here on the SPY at 605.26. So once I noticed that this previous resistance right here on the 1 minute chart that was not tested, the SPY had a gap up towards this previous resistance at strong support, and it was very close to that breakout and retest level that I told you to buy calls if we gap up right towards that 604.70 overall range. I'm not nickel and diming that, right? It already had a massive move to the upside from this level, and it was already forming higher support and breaking on the day. So I looked at this as an opportunity where it's extremely oversold and even a better and lower level to be buying call options at, right? So this previous resistance on the 1 minute chart to react to support, there was a gap that was waiting to fill below here at 605.20. And I noticed once the SPY filled that gap on the 1 minute chart, it was beginning to have a reversal and it was forming higher support. Then we had a break above this 1 minute resistance, drop back down, previous resistance right here, reacting as support, starting to pump. All confirmations to be adding calls, adding calls, adding calls. Every time it was breaking above resistance on this 1 minute chart, B-shaped recovery, it started to turn previous resistance right here into support. So typically when I'm trading, I'm mainly just using, in terms of the chart, along with trading with my heart, the 30-minute time frame and the 1 minute time frame, right? I use the 30-minute time frame as the overall confirmations in a sense, and the 1 minute time frame helps me, in terms of breaking down the overall 30-minute chart as well. But I'm telling you, that 30-minute chart will change your life once you figure this system out. So that was the reasoning behind calls. In terms of more confirmations, I talk about this pattern all the time. Green candlestick facing to the downside, red candlestick facing to the upside. Next 30 minutes is going to be bullish. Buy, SPY, call options. Green candlestick facing to the downside. Next 30-minute candlestick facing to the upside. Next 30 minutes is going to be bullish. Buy, SPY, call options on the dip. That pattern worked twice today. It wasn't too long ago where we used it to buy, SPY, call options as well. But I mean, if you would have used my level, I literally told you 604.70. In this pattern, it's literally never failed me, man. It's within the program, man. I talk about this all the time. If you go back and watch the videos, this pattern has literally been repeating for fucking multiple times every single month. Look at this. This is the pattern. You have a red candlestick facing to the downside, red candlestick facing to the upside. Next 30 minutes is going to be green and fucking bullish. So in that sense, you're going to want to be buying SPY call option, right? Give me 1 second here. My mouse just froze. So let me get back into that, right? So if you look at this pattern right here, red candlestick facing to the downside, red candlestick facing to the upside, you're going to see candlestick facing to the upside, to the downside, candlestick facing to the upside. Next 30 minutes is bullish, buy calls, right? And the same pattern occurred right here at higher support, break and retest, previous resistance to react to support, buy calls on the fucking dip, man. So that was another reason on why I was bullish in a sense as well. And then this 30-minute candlestick, this trend reversal 30-minute candlestick, once this closed green, I was very bullish, which is why I said to hold calls for another 30 minutes, along with the green, red, green pattern. Look at this. Green, red, green. We go up for 30 minutes. Green, red, green. We go up for 30 minutes. Everything I'm fucking teaching you is repeating to an exact T. You just got to use it at the right overall levels, man. The patterns work to an exact T, man. The 30-minute chart is the best time frame you could ever use to day trade. I'm telling you, this is the best foundation you're ever going to see, man. If you just go back throughout the 10-day, 30-minute chart, you're going to see the same exact patterns, the same exact candlesticks repeating. Look at this. Green, red, green, slanted. Next 30 minutes is bullish. Green, red, green, slanted. Next 30 minutes is bullish. And it's at the levels. This is previous resistance, breakout, retest, floor, green, red, green. Next 30 minutes is bullish. That's why I was saying that the next 30 minutes was going to be bullish. And that's why I was holding for the bigger overall win. And if you look at this 30-minute trend reversal candlestick right here, it tends to go up for 30 minutes as well. So that was a stack with the green, red, green pattern. You can see right here, this candlestick right here, it starts to trend up, right? With the green, red, green. It's all the same fucking patterns, man. It's the same history repeating to it to an exact T. This is the same trend reversal candlestick right here. Next 30 minutes is green and bullish. So fucking simple. The levels worked. The confirmations worked. That was the overall play. That was the one trade that I ended up making on the day. Now, let's go over the other trades, man. This was insane. I tell you guys all the time, the morning trades, you ain't going to find another trader out there who has morning trades like this. These are the best morning trades that I've ever fucking seen. You guys know me. I'm not big in terms of my personal trading. I don't trade the market open a lot. It's not my preference. It's not my style. I do follow some of the morning trades inside of Team Roar because they work. These are the best morning trades I've ever seen, I've ever experienced. Look at this, man. This is your first trade on the day. This one trade alone, everyone should have been green enough where they just walk away and call for the day. And then the rule is if you choose to keep on fucking trading, you risk 25% to 50% of your gains. One big win is good enough to walk away. Two small wins in a row is good enough to walk away. So just follow the overall risk management rule. You're going to see inside of Team Roar, the morning trades within the first 30 minutes to an hour, you could literally just call it. Look at this. Who the fuck do you know is doing this? I'm buying those SPY 606 calls at the exact fucking lows for my first trade on the day. I'm literally getting in at the exact low on the fucking dot. Literally like one of the first things I said for the entire day, using the game plan, using the confirmations that I teach you right here. And then I'm selling right here. This is where I ended up exiting. This is a very good exit. It started to pull back a little bit. But like I said, it went up over fucking 1,000%. But anyways, look at this. Amazon calls. We bought Amazon calls at open. This was the first trade we made on the day. We had 5 wins in a row, man. Losing was a personal fucking choice if you held the trades. Look at this. We ended up buying at 9:31 a.m. Who do you know is doing this? Not even just trading SPY and SPX, also stocks, right? So we don't put the expiration in the contracts because we always go with the closest expiration, right? So we're always trading 0 dates, but if we trade a stock before Friday, then we're just going with the closest expiration because it's not going to have a 0 date in that sense. So 222.50 Amazon calls for 42 cents a contract. Adding, double the position size. That's how you make the big fucking money as well, is adding to the fucking winners like we do. In terms of this case, we were basically adding that break even. Look at this trade. We got in at the exact lows right here in the 30-cent range. Within 30 minutes, the contracts went from 30 to 110. Understand? Fucking 300% return in like 30 minutes. Where are you going to be able to do that? We have the best options trades in the fucking world. So that was the first win on the overall day. And then we added to winners. So, I mean, if you're adding to the fucking winners and doubling the position size, the whole fucking shot should have been green enough to just walk the fuck away, making losing a personal choice, man. So you know, the ads, we just kept on fucking adding, just nonstop fucking adding, man. So with that being said, that was a phenomenal win. And we ended up exiting on that overall trade right here, literally at 86 cents a contract, right? For like 150% plus profit return on that. And then the next trade, 607 SPY calls for 37 cents a contract at 10:35 a.m. And in terms of that trade, we held all these trades on calls. All of these trades on calls ended up being a winner if you held. And in terms of G-Roar, he made it very, very clearly to hold the overall trades. Once I ended up buying those SPY calls later on throughout the day, he ended up alerting an SPX strike very, very close to mine slightly after. And both the fucking trades went up over 10x nearly. It was fucking insane, man. But like I said, if you held those 607 calls, they went deep in the money and they all printed. And G-Roar made it very, very clear to hold the fucking trade. He was in heavy as fuck with 250 contracts. And like I said, if you held the overall trades, they all went deep in the money. So inside of Team Roar, we don't use stop loss. We hold the trades. And then if we want to, at times, we sell the moves. So if we're down 50%, sometimes we'll sell the trade, sometimes we'll hold the trade. When we hold the dead play and it's down 50%, it comes back to life. It goes in the money later on throughout the day for a massive win, right? And we only focus on adding to winners, rarely on losers. When we win fucking big. 6085 SPX calls at 150 cents, right? So like I said, these calls first overall dropped in a sense, but they came back to life and we held the overall trades. 6080 SPX calls for 125 cents. These were the ones that really started to print, man. That was the one. After I took the trade on SPY calls, he ended up alerting that one, and that's where he fucking nailed it. So I'm gonna walk you through all three of these, man. I showed you the timestamps. Let me break down everything for you, right? So in terms of the 685 SPX calls, this is where we got in the 150 range. They dropped to 40 cents. The calls dropped over 70 fucking percent. We didn't sell. We held the trade. We're trading the fucking trend. We're buying far the money. We have the entire day for the contracts to go in the money. The way we protect our risk is, in terms of your position sizing, you size in less. The contracts are so cheap, you could literally just take one contract in a sense. Your entire position size could be your max risk per trade, a couple percent of your account. So if the contracts expire, worthless, and go to zero, the most you lose is your max risk per trade as your entire position size, right? And I told you, this is just living proof. The dead plays come back to life, especially when we don't sell the move for a loss. When we decide to hold, and G-Roar made it very, very clear to hold the fucking plays, and then the third fucking trade on calls was at the exact lows. The one that I made before he made that was at the exact fucking lows. It's fucking crazy what you can do with options, man. These went from 150 all the way to 40 cents. We held the trade. They went to 500 a contract. So we didn't get in at the exact lows on that. But if you look at this from a macro point of view, since we're holding, that's a great fucking entry. 150 to 500. We're talking a 250% plus profit return. Now, to be able to do that, you had to be able to stomach a 70% plus, down on the position. But like I said, size small and add to the winners. If you add big to the fucking losers, you're going to freak the fuck out. When we're already up and we add to a winner, when we're up a little bit, we tend to win very fucking big, winning confirmation, we're already green, and we set the profit stop to protect the position to ensure we don't go green to red, and then we move the profit stop up higher to ensure that we don't get back the bulk of our gains. This one came back to life, 6085 calls, and then we go to 6080 calls. Let me go to 607 first. We go to 607 calls right here. This is where we got in on 607 calls right here towards this mid 30 cent range. These went all the way to 90 cents a contract. 200% plus profit return, comeback of the fucking century. These went from 40 cents a contract all the way down to 10 fucking cents. They're down 75% plus. Comeback of the fucking century from our entry, 200% plus profit return. This is the advantage of holding, man. You don't even have to time it fucking perfectly. You just hold the fucking trade. It goes in the money. We're trading the right side of the fucking trend, man. So that was another phenomenal one. And then 6080. So when I alerted SPY calls, G-Roar became very, very confident as well. And then he alerted SPX calls shortly after I alerted the SPY calls at the lows. And this is the one where he absolutely fucking crushed it. So on Amazon trade, he was in at the exact lows. And then on his third SPY trade, on his third trade on calls, in terms of SPY and SPX, he was in at the exact lows on SPX. This is where we got in on the SPX calls right here in the 100% range. They went all the way to fucking 1,000 a contract for a 1,000% profit return. Everything we're doing is timestamped 100% in real fucking time, man. I'm telling you, this was absolutely insane. In terms of holding, man, you're never going to see anybody hold as long as GRoar. It's fucking crazy in terms of what we're able to do with options and with these fucking strike prices, man. It's like you don't even have to be right on the first 1 or 2 strikes if the next fucking trade is going to go up 1,000%. I tell you all the time, if we're on one side of the trade, if we just keep on buying calls, the trades are just going to keep on getting better later on throughout the day. Think about it. We made 3 trades on calls, right? That third fucking trade that he made on calls was the best fucking one that went up 10x. But even the ones before that, they went down at first a lot, but they went up multiple 100%. But if you just keep on trading on the same fucking side, there's going to be a point where when the trend kicks in, you're going to get into exact fucking lows. And then that second or third trade is going to be a 1,000% plus gainer. If you have a 1,000% gainer, you can have 18, 50% losses in a row and still be up 100%. We're turning the market into a game of percentages, man. So that was fucking insane, man. All 3 fucking plays were green and went deep in the fucking money. From a macro point of view, even though those first 2 entries weren't the best and those trades dropped 60 to 70%, they all went up multiple 100% profit return. And then the one that GRoar ended up buying towards the lows went up 1,000%. So it's limitless potential, man, on what you can do with options when you're trading on the right side of the fucking trend. You don't even have to time it right because the plays are literally going deep in the money later on throughout the day. You just have to hold the fucking trades, right? But in terms of me, man, you guys know I prefer to buy at the oversold levels, right? So I buy at the oversold levels and I buy at reversals. So in terms of my trades, when they do work out, you're going to see like the timing is like near fucking perfect. And I'm getting in at oversold fucking levels. I don't like buying at resistance. I don't like buying at breakouts. You can see this is all resistance towards here. I like buying towards those oversold levels. And in terms of the game plan that I provided last night, I told you the levels, it was like under 605. I was looking at 604.70. I did mention slightly higher above pre-market highs. But as a whole, as a collective, we fucking crushed it. And today was just unreal, man. If you're inside of Team Roar, you've truly never experienced anything like this, especially to see a trader hold that long on far the money option contracts and sell in the money, all for fucking wins. All 3 strikes on calls printed. 2 of the strikes were down 70% and they went up multiple 100%. Where the fuck can you say that? Who the fuck is down 70, 80% on a trade and then it goes up multiple 100%, not even adding to the losers? And then on the third fucking trade, buying at the exact fucking lows for 1,000% plus profit potential returns? It's like, dude, who the fuck is doing this? Who the fuck is printing like us? Do you understand? The first trade on the day went up 300% in 30 fucking minutes. If you're not green enough to walk away for the rest of the day on 30 fucking minutes, then you deserve to flip green to red, man. You risk 25% to half the gains at most. And it is what it is. If you keep on trading and you lose 25 to 50% of your gains, you've hit your max loss and you have to call it on the day. Otherwise, you're going to be a degenerate and give back all your gains, which is something we don't do, man. So today was fucking phenomenal. If you added up all of the fucking wins combined, we had 5 wins in a row. It adds up to nearly 1,000% plus. In terms of the potential, it was over 1,000%. It was over 2,000% plus profit potential in terms of where we were selling. It's over 1,000% easy, man. He had to trade at 300%. I had to trade at 200%. And then we had multiple 100% profit returns after on SPY and SPX. Like, dude, who the fuck prints like us? Who is doing this? Who is showing you this? All we do is fucking win, man. So in terms of the group, man, this was a crazy fucking day. Like I said, man, this was one for the books, man. I see the same members every single day crushing it, man. Absolutely killing it, man. I saw some big gains in here. We had a member that goes by the name of Rolex. He ended up making $28,000 on the day. His portfolio is up over 170%. I mean, when you're calling out trades that are going up 1,000% plus, it's possible, man. Every single month, we're calling out multiple trades that go up 1,000%. We had members $340 profit. We had members nearly $2,000 profit. I'm telling you, I see the same faces, man. So for those of you who are serious about making money, it's the first link down below with an description. All we do is print. We buy 0-date, far the money option contracts. We sell them deep in the money for the biggest percentage gains. In terms of the system, we don't use stop losses. You manage your risk by sizing in smaller, right? This allows you to hold, and this allows you to not panic when you're down big, 60, 70, 80, 90%, right? You size in less. You put in your entire position size as your max risk per trade, so you know exactly how much you're going to risk losing, right? Most you lose is what you put in, could be a couple percent of your account. And you could start with just one contract. And in terms of the wins, the winning potential is unlimited. We have trades where we make 1,000%. We've had trades this year where we made over 3,000%, where we sell for over 3,000%, right? It's unlimited percentage profit potential with options. You know, you're not going to be able to do that anywhere else within the market where you can make unlimited profit potential. We're known for holding, selling deep at the money. In terms of adding, we try to avoid adding to losers. We tend to add to winners. So like for us, 5, 10, 20%, you know, for a lot of traders, that's very like great wins for them where they make like 5, 10, 20%. Over here, we're sizing in less. And then when we're up a little bit, we tend to win very fucking big. So instead of selling for small wins like most people do, we add and we increase the fucking winning, and then we set profit stops to protect our new average cost, right? Because if you set a profit stop, that means you get stopped out for green and you win on the trade. If you set a stop loss, that means you're going to get stopped out for red, especially on out of money option contracts, almost every single fucking time. If you try to trade out of money option contracts or just options in general, and you're setting stop losses, I can assure you nearly every single time you're going to get fucking stopped out, man. I'm telling you, my whole fucking team, we know exactly where all your stop losses are, man. We hold our trades. We have no fucking emotions. We trade the overall trend. Eventually, the contracts go within the money. You just have to hold the fucking trade. In terms of my trades, you're going to see they're near perfect timing when they're right because I'm trading reversals. I'm not trading overall breakouts. I'm waiting for the SPY to retest the previous resistance instead of trying to buy into the breakout for this big move to happen. The big move happened that GWAR was looking for, but it didn't happen right away, which is going to cost the out-of-money option contracts. But they all still fucking printed and worked anyways, right? So with that being said, you know, we're known for doing the complete opposite of what everybody else you follow is doing. Like that's how we're able to win. We just do the complete opposite of what everyone else is doing. And you're going to see inside of Team Roar, there's nothing out there like this on the fucking planet. This is the best zero-day options trading group you're ever going to fucking see on the planet, man. We have many members who are making $500 a day. We have many members who are making $1,000 a day. We have some members who are making 5 figures a week. We have some members who are making over 6 figures a month, right? If you are serious about making money and gaining access to all of our real-time zero-day options trading alerts, we had 5 wins in a row. It is the first link down below within the description. Nearly every single day is a fucking green day. The percentage gains always outweigh the percentage losses, and we have the highest win rate in the game doing this. Like I said, man, you can literally have 18, 50% losses in a row. 1,000% gainer, you are literally up. You are literally up 100%, man. It's a numbers game. And then we add to winners to increase the winning. We set the profit stops, right? There's no need to set a stop loss. If your entire position size that you put in is your max risk per trade and the most you can lose on an option is what you put in, right? There's no need for a stop loss. If we're down 50%, we make a logical decision with confirmations. Are we going to hold the trade? Or are we going to cut the trade? When we decide to hold the trade and not cut for an L, it comes back to life. It goes in the money 70% of the time. That means 70% of the time we are down over 50% on the trade and we hold it. It goes in the money and it comes back to life. And when we decide to hold that trade, typically, instead of adding into a loser and averaging our cost down, we'll go with another strike, and that fucking strike will be towards the lows, and the fucking gains on that strike will be unfucking believable, right? I mean, you literally saw it, right? So you can see right here, literally exactly what the fuck I just said. You're going to see right here is exactly what the fuck happened, right? So we had these, let me walk you through this. We had these 6085 SPX calls for 150 cents, right? These went to like 40 cents, and then they came back to life, and they went up multiple 100% profit returns. Then the next trade on SPX, 6080 SPX calls. The first strike got beaten down. Instead of adding to that strike, we buy a new fucking strike. This one went to a fucking 1,000. So instead of adding to a fucking loser, you can buy a new fucking strike. Both of the strikes tend to go in the fucking money for gains, but the second or third strike is going to go up the fucking most because you're getting at the exact fucking lows. There's nothing out there like this on the fucking planet. The trades that are down 60, 70, 80% are going up multiple 100%. The second and third fucking strikes on the same side of the fucking trend at the exact fucking lows are going up 1,000 fucking percent. Who is fucking giving you this fucking opportunity to make this kind of fucking money? Nobody, man. Nobody fucking prints like us. The fuck? Who the fuck do you know is buying SPY fucking calls at the exact lows, man? I bought these fucking calls at the exact fucking lows. Who the fuck is doing this, man? Who the fuck do you know today bought these fucking calls at the exact bottom. That's what the fuck I do, man. I trade reversals. I get the best fucking entries possible. I buy fucking SPY calls exact lows. And then shortly after that, G-Roar is buying SPX calls at the exact fucking lows. Both of the fucking trades are going up 1,000 fucking percent. Losing is a fucking choice. We could have had 18 fucking L's in a row. Still would have been fucking green that situation if you held, right? And we're holding for the massive fucking wins, man. So it's the first link down below in the description if you're serious about making money. Team Roar has a ton of members. We are printing nonstop. There's multiple multimillionaires within the group. The lead trader inside the group is a multimillionaire as well. If you're serious about making money, it's the first link down below within the description. You're going to see we have the best option trade alerts within the game. You know, in terms of trading, well, if we're all fucking trading, who's got the best trades? Who's got the best trades that are cheap, that are low risk, that have the biggest percentage gains? Who's making multiple trades with the biggest win rate in the game? You're going to fucking see, man. We are the fucking best. It's the first link down below in the description. If you want to make some fucking money, it's the first fucking link, man. I told the whole fucking chat, man, like how much more fucking clear do I have to be? I give them the plan a day before in advance. I'm buying the fucking calls at the levels I give you in the fucking plan. My first trade in the fucking day. And literally, I'm saying, this is free fucking money. And then there's people in the chat, they're all fucking down it. They're all fucking down it. I wonder if they were fucking down it when they were buying fucking calls earlier at a much higher fucking price, man. And then I'm buying at the fucking lows, and then he buys the SPX at the fucking lows. And all we're doing is fucking print non-fucking stop. Even the trades that were down 70% went up multiple 100%. It's like, yo, who the fuck is doing that, man? All these other fucking traders who are down 70%, they're all selling for fucking losses. Our fucking trades that are down 70% are going up multiple 100%. We're the fucking greatest to do it, man. Wake the fuck up. It's the first link down below in the description if you want to make some fucking money. All we do is print. All we do is make fuck you money. It's the first link, man. I'm signing off. I will see you guys within the chat. We're going to fucking crush it tomorrow.